98%. That is the interception success rate a Ukrainian pilot recently claimed while flying the French-made Mirage 2005 against Russian drones and cruise missiles. It's a staggering number. But in the fog of war, numbers can be deceiving. For nearly 2 years, the world fixated on the F-16 as the savior of the Ukrainian skies. But while the Viper was getting all the headlines, a different predator was quietly slipping into the theater. As of early 2026, the Mirage 2000 is no longer a promise. It is operational, it is armed, and it is hunting. But is this French Delta Wing fighter actually tipping the scales, or is it just another logistical nightmare in an already chaotic war? Today, we are stripping away the propaganda to look at the hard tactical reality of the Mirage 2005 in Ukraine. To understand why this jet matters right now, we have to look at the timeline. The first batch of these fighters arrived quietly back in February 2025, following President Macron's initial pledge. Since then, they haven't just been sitting in hangars. French-trained Ukrainian crews have been pushing these airframes to their absolute limits. We are now seeing them fully integrated into the Ukrainian defense network, operating alongside F-16s and Soviet-era Sukhois. This isn't a trial run anymore. This is a mixed fleet air force fighting for survival. And the Mirage has carved out a very specific, very dangerous niche for itself. Let's break down the machine itself. The Mirage 2005 is a purebred interceptor that learned new tricks. Its most defining feature is that massive delta wing. In a dogfight, a delta wing bleeds energy fast if you turn too hard, but it offers incredible straight-line speed and, more importantly, a phenomenal rate of climb. When a radar station detects incoming Russian cruise missiles like the Kh-101, you don't need a turning fighter. You need a sprinter. You need a jet that can get from the tarmac to 30,000 feet in Mach 2 in the blink of an eye. The Mirage does this better than the F-16. It is the perfect rapid response goalkeeper. But speed means nothing without teeth. The game changer here isn't the plane, it's the missile. The Ukrainian Mirages have been spotted carrying the MICA missile system. Unlike the older American AMRAAMs found on some early F-16 deliveries, the MICA comes in 2 flavors, radar-guided and infrared. The infrared version is terrifying for Russian pilots because it is a silent killer. It doesn't trigger the enemy's radar warning receiver until it's too late. This allows Ukrainian pilots to fly passive with their radars off, guided by ground control via Link 16, and then launch a sneak attack. It is a sniper tactic applied to aerial warfare, and it is complicating operations for the Russian aerospace forces. However, the Mirage's role isn't just defensive. We need to talk about the deep strike capability. France didn't just send the planes, they modified them to carry the Scalp EG cruise missile. Before this, Ukraine had to jury-rig these missiles onto old Soviet Su-24 bombers using iPads and duct tape, metaphorically speaking. On the Mirage, the integration is native. The computer talks to the missile. This means flight profiles can be updated mid-mission, and accuracy is significantly higher. While the F-16s are busy suppressing enemy radar with HARM missiles, the Mirages are acting as fast strike trucks, delivering heavy hits on logistics hubs in occupied Crimea and then running for safety before Russian air defense can lock on. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the zoo problem. Ukraine is now operating one of the most diverse and logistically insane air forces in history. You have American F-16s, French Mirages, and Soviet MiGs all flying from the same dispersed airfields. The maintenance burden is horrific. A French hydraulic system does not talk to an American wrench. But there is a hidden strategic genius here. The Mirage 2000 isn't the endgame. It is the bridge. The avionics and cockpit philosophy of the Mirage are very similar to the Dassault Rafale, the jet Ukraine really wants for the future. By flying Mirages now, Ukrainian pilots are effectively building the muscle memory for the next generation of French fighters. It's a long-term investment disguised as immediate military aid. So, where does this leave the strategic map? The Mirage 2000 hasn't won the war. It hasn't stopped the glide bombs entirely, and the sheer number of Russian airframes still overwhelms the Ukrainian count. But what it has done is plug the holes. It has relieved the pressure on the F-16 fleet, allowing the Vipers to focus on what they do best, while the Mirages handle the high-speed interceptions and the precision strikes. It is a force multiplier. The Mirage 2000 was designed in the Cold War to intercept Soviet bombers over Europe. 40 years later, it is finally doing exactly what it was built for, just a few thousand miles further east. It proves that in modern warfare you don't always need the newest stealth fighter. Sometimes you just need a fast jet, a good missile, and a pilot who knows how to use them. What do you think? Is the mixed fleet of F-16s and Mirages sustainable for Ukraine in the long run, or will the logistics eventually break them? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this briefing, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next one.